So is it crazy to say that the Angels are a money laundering operation?
All right, Ethan. So we are in the depth of the offseason. I don't even know how we have anything to talk about. But we are the Dodgers. We are Dodgers fans. And the last couple years, it kind of seems like the entire offseason revolves around us. First off, how are you doing?
Doing great. I just got back from the Arkansas basketball game about an hour ago. It's pretty sick. It's like a 40-point blowout tonight, so no complaints there.
SEC, man, it just means more. Who are you guys
Absolutely.
playing?
South Carolina, the fake USC.
Yeah, the fake USC. I remember meeting some of those kids down in Destin one time, or Panama City Beach, whatever it is. But yeah, dude, good to have you along. So at the time of recording this, it's a Thursday night. Actually, no, correction, it's a Wednesday night. Tomorrow's gonna be Thursday. And the rumor all week, Kyle Tucker has not signed a deal. He seems to be the next domino to fall. And they are saying not until Thursday the earliest. First off, I want your thoughts. How badly do you want, if at all, Kyle Tucker on the Dodgers?
I mean, it's kind of a mix of two things. Obviously, he's one of the best bats we've seen in the MLB over the past couple seasons. The numbers speak for themselves. However, if he's wanting 7, 8 years, I don't like that contract a lot. But if he's wanting 4 or 5 on a short-term deal, you're paying him 40 to 50 million in. Absolutely take that. I mean, this is going to be one of the best outfield bats you're going to find across Major League Baseball. Um, However, defense, I don't know how to feel about that. And there's another outfielder name on the market that we'll get to. But if they were to get a 4 or 5 year deal with him for half the price, I think that's also something heavily to consider given, the defense has been one of the biggest problems on the Dodgers outfield. We've seen it. Andy Pages is the only reliable defensive piece we even have right now. I mean, Tommy Edmonds in and out of there, but I think he's going to be the permanent second baseman going forward. But Kyle Tucker, if you can get him on a 4 or 5 year deal with that lefty bat, absolutely, it would be great. And I think you're going to solidify that three-peat pretty damn well.
Yeah. No, I mean I'm with you, and like you said about a 4 or 5 year deal is what it would essentially take to go get a guy like that. And based on what I'm seeing right now, it looks like the Toronto Blue Jays are willing to go the distance of giving him that 10 years that every player wants. And then, of course, you got the Dodgers and the Mets who are going to try to offer the 4 or 5 year route, it looks like. Probably try to offer the short term, high average annual value. So I'd imagine Dodgers are probably willing to pay more per year. I don't know if you remember the offseason when Bryce Harper was a free agent, but I've talked about it. This reminds me a lot of that offseason where I think it was the Dodgers and Giants were kind of offering Bryce the 4 years, $45 million a year at the time per year contract. Now, it's interesting because he ended up going to Philadelphia. And I'm not sure how you feel about this, but no disrespect to Kyle Tucker, Bryce Harper's a Hall of Famer. And I think Bryce Harper's a much higher ceiling guy than that. So I'm curious to know, do you think this is a real offer that the Dodgers are even offering? Or is this just, his agent, Kyle Tucker's agent, whoever it is, putting in the work to try to jack up the Toronto offer?
I think it's a mix of the two tails here. I would actually lean more though. It is his agent trying to jack up the offer from Toronto. I mean, look, the Dodgers are the final boss now. Like everyone is trying to do what they do. They're getting every single player you can think of. And if they're offering something that Kyle Tucker wants, the 29 other teams, they don't want to see Kyle Tucker go to the Dodgers. I mean, the Blue Jays just lost to them in a heartbreaking game 7. Do you really want Kyle Tucker to go to that team and make them be even more unbeatable? Every team right now is going to do whatever they're having to do whatever they can now to beat the Dodgers, along with doing whatever they can to put a winning team on the baseball field. So, absolutely, I think a lot of agents. I think everything you've seen around the Dodgers this offseason, outside of Edwin Diaz, it's been a lot of toying around. Hey, we're going to see what they can offer, so that we're going to be able to rack up asking price. I mean, the same thing with the Skubal trade rumors back in December. I think a lot of that really was just to see what Tarek Skubal's value was on the market, not necessarily the Tigers actually looking to move him.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the last two off seasons, specifically the one prior to when Shohei and Yamamoto signed, we've never really seen the Dodgers make. People are gonna laugh at me. We've never really seen the Dodgers make the splash for that 10-year guy, other than Ohtani and Yamamoto. Now, to me, those dudes are just an anomaly because when you get Shohei Ohtani and you pair the best pitcher maybe of all time from Japan with him, that brings an entire country. So the return on investment that you're going to make from those contracts, because baseball's the Wild West. It's like NIL in football. The money you're going to make from those contracts pays for itself, as we've seen in a year or two's time. Whereas Kyle Tucker, Juan Soto, these really good players, those deals are always a losing deal for any team that signs them. And I know the Dodgers did re-sign Mookie Betts the one time right before COVID, but that was weird. It was 2020. Anything that happened in 2020, you almost can't attribute as...
It was a weird time.
Yeah, no, it was strange. So I think, one, obviously, not that you and I are in any position to be telling Andrew Friedman what to do. Obviously, in my opinion, offering Kyle Tucker 10-year deal is just kind of a mistake, in my opinion. Not that he's not a good ball player, but those deals never work out. He's a career corner outfielder, like you mentioned. The defense is whatever it is. It's like Freddie Freeman. If he's going to come to the Dodgers on the Dodgers' terms, great. Otherwise, I think the Dodgers could do without him, and as it stands right now, they could win a World Series. They're not done adding, but as it stands right now, they don't need him. If he'll come on the Dodgers' terms, great. If not, I think we let it go.
Absolutely. And like we were just saying, the defense has been the biggest problem, and there's another outfield name on the market, and he's a familiar face.
Yeah. I mean,
Welcome to the hotel. Welcome to the Hotel California, man.
Let me see if I can tilt the screen a little bit right there.
Yeah, that's my damn MVP right there. Look, Cody Bellinger's price is probably between 20 and 30 million. If you can get that for 3 or 4 years on a short-term deal while he's still, I'm not going to say he's in his prime anymore, but he still plays. He can still play at an all-star caliber level. He's still playing at what the value of a 20 to 30 million dollar deal is. And he's going to go fill every void. The Dodgers don't need another power lefty bat. Let's be real here. I mean, you've got Max Muncy, you've got Freddie Freeman, you've got Ohtani. What you need is a versatile outfielder who can play defense. He's going to run the bases at an elite level, and he's going to be able to also hit for power and in the clutch. You saw what Cody Bellinger could do for the Dodgers when he was on them in October. I think a lot of people, it's kind of been frustrating seeing they're like, oh, he took the worst at-bats, and he was a strikeout every time in October. The guy got hits when it mattered. And these are also a lot of people who also glaze Teoscar Hernandez. I love Teoscar. Before I get into this, I love Teoscar Hernandez, don't get me wrong. But the dude's a sloppy defender, and his plate approach it's exactly what Cody Bellinger would do. Take some pretty ugly swings. We're not going to deny that. But Teo got the hit. Teo got the hits when we needed it.
Yeah,
every single damn time.
Absolutely,
and that's what Cody Bellinger does.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. We'll touch on the Teoscar signing in a minute, but Cody Bellinger to the Dodgers, you and I are very partial to it. Cody's my favorite player in the league still, and he doesn't even play on the Dodgers. And that's saying a lot considering we have Shohei Ohtani and Yamamoto and Freeman and Betts, and Bellinger's still my favorite player. Just the connection that I think a lot of Dodger fans have, no matter how good this team is, the connection that we all have to that 2017 team with Turner and Seager and Bellinger. No, it's hard for us to let it go. Maybe it's because of what the Astros did and we never feel like we got closure. From a fan aspect, it would be beautiful and satisfying to have Bellinger come to this team. Because you think, okay, I don't quite know what happened those last 2 years in LA, And I was talking with my friend Kevin on another show not too long ago about this. With Bellinger, I think we'd have to before any talk of him signing with the Dodgers as a possibility even comes up, we have to accept the 2019, especially first half version of Bellinger. We will never see that again, and that's okay. With I mean, I think he had like 14 home runs in April. Like that's just no, that's not who he is anymore. But I also think 2021 and 2022, when he was borderline unplayable because of the shoulder injury. Look, I don't care that they've won a couple World Series. I still very much question Robert Van Soyak and the hitting coach's approaches to things. I think it was just bad, flat out, for Bellinger. I don't think he's naturally that kind of a guy to be an uppercut swinger. I think he's a little bit more like what we've seen in New York, a singles and doubles guy. And now that the shift has been banned, we never really got to see, that fully unleashed, true, playing like himself Bellinger that we saw with the New York Yankees. I'm all on board for it because Bellinger to me solves two issues for the three issues really for the Dodgers. One, you want another lefty in the lineup to make the righty-lefty matchups against another team impossible. Two, outfield defense, like you mentioned. He's a much better defender than Kyle Tucker. You're not going to need him to play center field anymore, and he's a superb right fielder, left fielder. And then three, you got to think about life after Freddie Freeman. Freeman's got, 2 more years on his deal, maybe?
Yeah, he does.
That's not to say, I would not be surprised if Freddie Freeman goes the Kershaw route, and for as much baseball as we have left in him, he signs 1 year deal, maybe a 2-year deal. But having another guy that can slot in and play first base in 2 years when all the outfield prospects from the Dodgers come up, I think that's got a ton of value.
Absolutely, 100%. And you go and look at the Dodgers farm system right now. 4 of the top 5 prospects are all outfielders. There really isn't the need to go and get this. That's why I'm heavily against signing Tucker to a long-term deal, because you've got a lot of young talent in the outfield that I would rather see these guys come in and develop and take the spots, because it's going to save you a lot of money. And, I know we've been throwing all these massive contracts out and it looks like they have endless amounts of money, but at the end of the day, you don't. You're paying guys a lot of money, and there is going to come a point in time where you're paying Shohei Ohtani the $68 million a year that he's going to be owed. Now, in 8 years, when that does happen, there will be contract inflation that's going to come into play, where that $68 million a year might be worth what $50 million is today. But you've got so much young talent, and I mean, you saw it get released the other day. They have the number 1 farm system. They don't just have the best roster.
On social media too. I know you mentioned. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but the number 1 farm system. I see people. Oh, it's just the media's inflating the Dodgers farm system. It's overrated.
These guys are straight up ranked number 1. They have the best outfield farm prospects you could possibly think of right now across the board.
Yeah. No, I mean, you could almost make the argument that your least favorite outfielder right now, of the crop that's in the top 100 or approaching top 100, my I'm not so sure guy is the highest rated one, because Josue DePaula, he's an excellent hitter. Defense isn't fully there. Maybe he ends up projecting like a Yordan Alvarez. If that's the concern,
that's the worst.
What
is Yordan Alvarez? Absolutely.
My God.
You might not need to go sign Kyle Tucker at that point. And
yeah,
I mean, Kyle Tucker is a great hitter. No one's going to deny it. He's probably a top 5 outfield bat without a doubt in Major League Baseball. I mean, the only guys probably better. The only guys probably better than him are maybe Juan Soto and.
I'd say
just a pure hitter. Judge, Acuna, Soto, Harper.
I think he's better than Tatis.
Or Harper's not an outfielder. I don't know why I said that. I'm always going to think of Bryce Harper as an outfielder. I don't know what it is, but yeah. And yes, you have that, but is that bat alone worth $50 million a year to your team when you have 4 of your 5 top guys in the farm system that are in AAA who are going to have a huge, huge potential impact on this team going forward?
Yeah, no, it's why
And
I like I would bet the house on it. I think Tucker signs with the Blue Jays. I think
and
Tucker's gonna go to the Blue Jays.
let's not forget Andy Pah is in center field. I know he had his moments in the postseason. The guy is coming off a 27 home run season. The guy is pretty damn good at defense. The guy should have been an all-star. I mean, Ian, the game we went to together in June, the dude
All-Star
hit
Andy.
2 bombs. Yeah,
Yeah.
the entire stadium was chanting All-Star Andy. That dude should have been in the All-Star game. But, I mean, do you need Kyle Tucker? Does Kyle Tucker solve a long-term problem? No. And Cody Bellinger does. You have Cody Bellinger in the outfield for 2 or 3 years, and you can shift him back to first base once these guys are fully developed.
So here's the question I would ask you then, because I think you and I have both established for the value, and Tucker's a better player than Bellinger. I'll admit it. He's got the better numbers over the last 5 years, from 2020 on, 6 years. But when it comes to Cody Bellinger, I know you mentioned maybe signing him. The Yankees offered him a 5-year contract. It looks like 5 years, 150. So that's $30 million a year over 5 years. The Yankees apparently are at a stalemate with Bellinger because Bellinger wants 7 years. We're going to have to see what happens with Kyle Tucker. He'll be the first domino to fall. What are your thoughts on the Dodgers giving Bellinger 7 years? Are you interested at that point?
Would it be for $30 million a year?
Probably looking in the $25 to $30 million a year range, yeah.
If there was a negotiation where they would be telling him our long-term plan for you is to go back to first base, I think they look into it. I don't think it'd be out of the equation at all because do I want that guy in the outfield in 5 years when his arm's going to start to decay a little bit? And also, if you move him to first base, his longevity as a hitter is probably going to stay intact a little bit better. I mean, the guy's not having to hose runners down at home plate a couple times every week. And you have him in the outfield for maybe 4 years and then move him to first base. I mean, maybe even 2 years if Freeman's out the door. And I would like it. I think it's a little tricky though. I think my whole thing with Cody Bellinger, I think it's going to incline me to more say that it's a good deal when it really might not be. So I think your opinion might be a little bit more realistic than mine. I don't know. If I sound crazy about this, call me out, call my bullshit, but I think if they were to give him 7 years, it has to include him playing first base in the long run. Not right now, obviously, but that's got to be in. I don't think he's going to be in the outfield for 7 years.
No, and look, I love Cody. He's like I said, he signed a ball for me at spring training, and literally 2 days before COVID shut down. So maybe that's maybe I was the patient zero, didn't know it at the time that it shut the league down. But I think here's. I would pause. I would pause at the 7 years. Even at the 5 years, 5 years is always kind of that breaking point where I think the contracts kind of meet the even, where it's like benefits the team, benefits the player. Before once you get to about 7 or 8 years, not the other sequence of numbers that comes right before that.
I'm not even gonna laugh.
Yeah, it's the big 26. We don't do that anymore, apparently.
Yeah, dude. My friend, he called me out a couple times at the basketball game.
That was good. That's good.
Yeah.
We're in a. He primed you for the show in the best possible way, and he didn't even.
I was set up a couple times for the punchline, but we're making improvements. All right, it's not as bad as it was a month ago.
No, absolutely not. But point being, I think when you reach that that 7-year mark, it's when contracts start to go kind of by the wayside, especially for guys on 30, wrong side of 30. I'm going to put this out there. We talk about first base. We talk about the plan after Freddie Freeman. Do you think in the Dodgers organization, they look around and go, okay, Josue DePaul is our top prospect. He projects at this current moment in time as far below Teoscar Hernandez as a fielder. Well, that's not great. And this is not to put the guy down. This is not to say he can't develop. He's an excellent hitter. Fielding is not everybody's forte. Do they view him as the future first baseman? Or, God forbid, you've got the best player of all time on your team. And he's basically a guaranteed 50 home run guy in Shohei Ohtani. He's also a pitcher. So right now he DHs. He came off Tommy John, and then just this year he came back from a Tommy John-esque but not legally Tommy John for some reason elbow surgery. I don't think Shohei Ohtani, this is also just me being a realist, I don't anticipate him pitching and hitting for the Dodgers through the remainder of his contract. In fact, I'd say if you get 4 more years out of him pitching, that's a steal. At that point, is he your first baseman in the future? Because Shohei can do anything. If his elbow eventually gets to a point where, hey, I don't want this to impact the offense I can bring, do they then move him to first base? Because Shohei, I don't know how you feel about it. They ask him to play first base next year as a Gold Glover. I could totally see it. He can do anything.
I don't think it's a crazy statement. Obviously, it's not going to happen next season with Freddie Freeman, but no. I think if you're the Dodgers, if you're the Dodgers coaching staff, I think you absolutely look into this potentially because hey, the guy, the defense in the outfield was so atrocious at the end of last season. They were considering having Ohtani go and play in the outfield during the postseason. It got that bad. And if you were considering him moving into the outfield, you can teach the guy to play first base. It works with Bryce Harper. Now, is it easy? No, but if you got 2 seasons to work with him before this happens and make the transition, they've got 2 to 3 years to start working on this project right now. And I mean, him as a first baseman is just going to be disgusting if they were to actually think about doing that. And you're right. I don't know how long he will last as a pitcher. I mean, you see starting pitchers start to kind of tail off a little bit after they turn around 33, 34. And Ohtani is a starting pitcher, and he's also a hitter. Okay, the guy is not human. We're not gonna if there's anybody to exceed those expectations, it's gonna be Shohei Ohtani.
Absolutely.
But in the reality of this, you're right. I don't see him pitching all the way through this contract, and if he does, it's going to be coming out of the bullpen because it's a lot of wear and tear on your body, and even without pitching, the dude is still the best player in baseball with his value at the plate. Like it's incredible. The guy's going to go steal 50 bags and hit 50 homers at the same time. Now, maybe Aaron Judge is a better hitter, but you think Ohtani's better?
Well, I think not that I think he's necessarily bad. Aaron Judge and Ohtani, to me, it's like my lobster's too buttery, my steak's too juicy. Have your pick. You've got right-handed version, you've got left-handed version.
I don't think there's a wrong answer.
No, they're. I mean, I got to be honest with you. On a short list of the best hitters of my lifetime, I mean, I'm curious because you're a couple years younger than me.
Bro, I'm like 10 years younger. What do you mean?
Yeah, dude, I know. I don't even know how I'm up right now. I know you're on the East Coast, so it's about even playing field for us. It's 9:30 for me here. So I better probably be getting.
We're in Central. We're good.
Oh, okay.
It's only 11:37.
No big deal, but a lot better than the last time we tried to film this podcast last year, and you were like doing it at 1 a.m.
Oh yeah, because it took us 2 hours to figure out how to get it to work.
But fact of the matter, a lot of pitchers, and it's changed now historically. Once guys have a second Tommy John, Walker Buehler, not the same. Mike Clevenger, not the same. Nathan Eovaldi has actually wound up, weirdly enough, having some of the best years of his career post-second Tommy John. And he's hung around for a while. So he won the World Series with Texas, was basically a Cy Young caliber pitcher all season this year. If anyone can figure it out, it's Shohei Ohtani, but again, you play 162 games. You're hitting every game. You're the most important piece of the offense. Like, this isn't just him as a pitcher, too. There's another responsibility with him as a hitter. So I could totally see him moving over and shifting to the infield. But anyways, short list of great hitters. Shohei and Judge are probably easily in the top 5 of my lifetime. It's not even close. Maybe top 3
in the last 7 years.
Yeah.
Juan Soto.
Really?
Yeah, he debuted in 2018. Since 2018.
Yeah.
Top 5. Ohtani, Judge, Soto.
Trout was already he's been hurt for too often.
I feel so bad for that guy. I mean,
yeah, it's just the worst. Seeing that happen year after year. I mean, what a the Angels? My gosh, what a weird topic to in the same city, or not the same city, but the same region. You've got the best, the gold standard, what everyone considers the best team in American sports. And then on the other end, we have what you actually devised as not even a baseball team.
Well, so is it crazy to say that the Angels are a money laundering operation?
Yeah, no, I know you've mentioned something along those lines to me. I want you to elaborate why you think that is, because I don't necessarily disagree per se, but I'm curious what the
here we go.
What the reasoning is behind this.
All right. So first off,
floor's yours.
Disney sells the team to Moreno in 2003. What did the Angels do in 2002?
They won the World Series.
They won the World Series. Okay. So since 2000, the team is sold in 2003.
Very weird timing, by the way. Bizarre.
Yeah. And this dude who has been running the team has proven that he does not know a lick of baseball. Okay.
No.
And what you saw, was it an Instagram comment or something? The MLB The Show thing.
Oh yeah, someone said that the Angels basically run their team like someone who's playing franchise on MLB The Show for the first time in their life.
Yeah, I'm sure we've all played MLB The Show. We have run our franchise modes better than that, because you know what the Angels do?
Dynasty.
They have a top prospect. They're not going to let him develop for 2 to 3 years. No, they're going to call him up 2 to 3 months after he gets drafted. Who does that? What other? There's 30 organizations in baseball. How many organizations do you think are doing that?
They're like one of one. I mean, there's instances where it happens every now and then, but they're always doing it.
Paul Skeens and Dylan Cruz do not count as examples. Those guys are superstar talents that you're gonna get. Yeah. They're gonna get called up early. No, they're calling up like mid-late rounders up early.
Nolan Shanwell, who's good.
This guy? The one I threw in the trash can?
Oh, dude, I always forget that you got that bobblehead back.
Yeah.
You got your get back.
Yeah.
So I guess one of the 3 of us that went to that game didn't get a bobblehead.
Well, no, I know I got a bobblehead. And then I got up to go. I thought that my chicken finger basket was the same color as the bobblehead, and I thought the bobblehead was my trash, and I went to go throw it away.
Dude, you were a mess on your 21st birthday weekend out here. It was.
That's well, we can talk about that in another episode. Shout out Collie Man, Slightly Stupid, in the sandbar. Okay, anyways.
Sandbar, Huntington Beach. We love it.
Great spot. Okay, anyways. You have Anthony Rendon. You signed Anthony Rendon, but I think there's more to it. I think, honestly, a lot of the whole Anthony Rendon situation is on the Angels. I think
There's a reason he didn't sign somewhere else. I think a lot of the league knew what kind of a character he was.
Okay, that's one thing.
Yeah.
The way they have been running the team is, hey, we need to look like we're running a baseball team, but we're not going to actually do anything with it. It's like buying a house and then not putting any furniture in it.
Ooh,
And
okay. No living spaces.
yeah, you're not doing anything with the assets that you own. And they're not doing anything to further develop these players. They're just making it look like they're running a baseball team. They're not doing any kind of improvement on the inside. And that is being done by someone who clearly doesn't know a thing about baseball. I mean, what ownership and coaching is going to call up a player after 2 or 3 months?
You know, the more you say this, Perry Manassian and drafting all pitchers in that draft, it seems like he's a smart baseball guy. Like Perry Manassian was like highly regarded at the Braves, which are one of the factories of baseball, and he's somehow running the team the exact same way Billy Epler did and every GM before. Jerry Dipoto is the only one who's with the Mariners, who they call him like Trader Jerry because he makes so many deals. Artie Moreno wanted him out because he wanted to have the team in his own vision, which, respect to him, he's been a very successful executive. All these other guys, it's almost like they're figureheads.
Yeah, they just have to act like they're running a baseball team. It looks like they're making money. You get Shohei Ohtani, you got Mike Trout on your team. That's going to bring people to the ballpark. It's going to get you a little bit of dinero where it looks like you're making money, but you don't actually have to go and do anything further. You don't have to go and win the World Series or do nothing.
Do you remember those stories that were coming out over COVID about how like the minor league players, I think it was the Angels, were like sleeping on the floor?
No, does that surprise you?
Hotel rooms?
Does that shock you?
No, it sounds like totally on brand, and it's weird because, and the funny thing with them is, as terrible as all this is, and as much as we joke, they are never headline grabbingly bad. They're just like in the
They're
background.
mediocre. They look like they're functioning.
They're never the White Sox. They're never the Rockies. They're never like colossally bad. They're just
they're just good enough to get people into the ballpark. They're just good enough to do that.
Like the Cincinnati Bengals of the MLB, but worse.
Is this a crazy conspiracy?
You know, it does sound like they're getting the advisory of Saul Goodman. Maybe you're watching a lot of Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul recently. Ozark,
a little bit. I'm actually about to start watching Ozark, hopefully. I got to get my Netflix worked out, but yeah.
You mean you got to email one of your family members and like have them confirm it?
Yes. Actually, funny enough, our Peacock account got flagged today.
Dude, that's the worst. And also, by the way, like, why do you need we could go on about that, but you've got to have like a different subscription to watch each NFL game. You got to have Amazon.
Yeah,
Prime
that's.
Peacock.
I don't know, man. It's at least I don't have cable.
That was a really, really good detour from our otherwise off-season show. Thank you for that theory.
Yeah.
To doing some more, hard-hitting investigative journalism as time goes on. So the Angels are a money laundering scheme. That's an interesting one.
It's not. I don't.
At
the end of the day, at the end of the day, they are still a baseball team that are 98% probably run by normal people. However, I mean, have you seen the Long John Silver's case?
Yeah, I know that they exist because I've seen commercials, but I can never prove the existence of one at the same time.
Exactly, because it's money laundering. There's a whole theory that it's a money laundering operation. Yeah, it's the same thing with Mattress Firm. The Angels are the Mattress Firm and Long John Silver's of the MLB. That's just my stance. And I don't. It's most likely fake. Don't take anything I say seriously right now.
Yes,
but
no,
it just.
This is complete.
Brian, it's a conspiracy. It's just a conspiracy theory.
That's an interesting conspiracy theory. That's going to an Angel game feels different. I don't know if you experienced that. Like it feels very. I mean, obviously because they like are just not, um, you know, a winning franchise. But you go to like a Padres game, you go to a Dodgers game. It feels. I don't know.
It's a baseball game.
Yeah, it feels like a baseball game. Going to an Angels game, like I feel like I could go on the field and like have fun if I wanted to. I don't like. I feel
No,
like
it,
I could.
it's like going to Disneyland, but a baseball game.
Yeah, it's like going to the Grove. It's a different experience.
Yeah,
Funny
I
enough,
mean,
how insane would it be for the Dodgers? The Angels released Anthony Rendon. Homie's just sitting out there. He said he didn't want the Hollywood lifestyle. He really doesn't have many choices. How like poetic would it be that the Dodgers go get Anthony Rendon on like a minor league invite, like non-roster invite thing. He tears it up in spring training. At some point, somebody's going to go down with a temporary injury, and then he gets to slot in at like third base. Maybe they move Max Muncy back to second. Maybe it's a platoon thing. Could you imagine Anthony Rendon just comes to the Dodgers on like a minor league deal after the Angels, hits like 270, like 26 home runs? Like that would shock nobody, right?
I think it'd be one of the funniest baseball storylines we get in the last 5 seasons if Anthony Rendon were to go and do that.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, if you could make Chris Taylor into an all-star, you can turn Anthony Rendon's career around, can you? I mean,
We love our boy Chris. We love everything Chris Taylor did for us in the playoffs, namely 2021, 2017 as well. But yeah, no, that's a good point. We saw lots and lots of K's next to Chris Taylor's name over the years with the Dodgers.
yeah. C2 strike three.
C2 strike three. Another former Dodger that got to give our claps. We gotta give him a little applause. Made it on his first Hall of Fame ballot. I don't know if this was before your time. Certainly wasn't before mine. Matt Kemp on the Hall of Fame ballot for the Cooperstown inductees. I forget, there was some other like amazing. It was like, dude, this was like peak Hall of Very Good content, like Hall of Awesome, but like definitely not quite Hall of Fame. It's like Shin-Soo Choo, I think, was on there. Cole Hamels, just some real great, like some grit from like the late 2000s, early 2010s. But yeah, I don't know if you were, well, you definitely remember him in 2018.
Ian, my first
But
Dodgers jersey was a Matt Kemp jersey.
yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Me too.
he was my time. I mean, I was a little kid, but I was like I was my 10th birthday when I got that jersey.
Yeah. So a little bit after he got robbed by Ryan Braun for the MVP.
Yeah, he's the 2011 MVP.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely the 2011 MVP. There's no doubt. Should have had MVP and Cy Young on the team. But man, I know realistically he's not going to get into the Hall of Fame just because the all-time stats they're not there. He was hurt a lot. But dude, I swear he's the one guy out of that list I could make the case, damn it, if he doesn't go down in 2012 with that hamstring injury and then just kind of have his career get derailed and bounce around from, like the Padres, like with James Shields and Will Myers, and then the Braves, before he eventually made his way back to LA and had that insanely awesome first half where he started in left field for the All-Star game. That dude would have been a Hall of Famer. And it's no disrespect to like Andre Ethier and Russell Martin and all those other, I would say Dodgers ring of very good, not quite Ring of Honor players. Matt Kemp had all the tools to be a Hall of Famer. Before there was Mike Trout, there was Matt Kemp wearing 27. He was that dude. And I think we got to just talk about him for a second so that the name doesn't die out. We get a lot of folks that are tuning into Dodger baseball for the first time the last couple years, and that's okay. All are welcome. But Kemp's low-key a Dodgers legend. He, like we mentioned, MVP stolen. But man, he was a good hitter. Oh my God, great offensive player.
as good as they come. And you look at his 2011 season, Ryan Braun was doing roids, and Matt Kemp still. You actually look at the numbers. Matt Kemp still, I think, statistically had a better year. I think he was the MVP regardless. Roids or no roids. I mean, they were pretty neck and neck. I mean, the dude was a home run away from being 40-40.
Yeah.
Back when 40-40 was a little bit more rare to even do.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was like, to put it in NBA terms, it was like you're seeing guys go and score 40 points every night right now. That just didn't happen 10 years ago in the NBA. It's the same thing with baseball. 40-40 was not a big thing. And Matt Kemp nearly did it. That was his 2011 season, and he did not win the MVP. But man, that was one of my first favorite baseball players. If you weren't a fan around that time, I'm sorry you missed out. It was just the dude was incredible, and what I loved about him too is I'm all about the homegrown talent. You know, watching Teoscar Hernandez be our number one outfielder right now, you know what? I mean, it's awesome. I like him, you know. But it's one of my things with Cody Bellinger and wanting him back. You know, I like the guys that we draft and develop better. And, you know, I know Yamamoto came over from Japan and it was a free agent signing, technically speaking. But, I mean, I like that he's become my favorite Dodger, you know, seeing that he's starting out with the Dodgers and he's going to be he's our guy. It's harder for me, and like it's even the same thing with Freddie Freeman. I love Freddie Freeman, but he's never going to be my favorite Dodger because he was not originally ours. I really hope, and for Freddie Freeman's sake, there's not a case at the end of his career where people are like, wait, he played for the Braves?
Starting to feel that way a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I don't like. I mean, the dude was a Braves legend.
Yeah.
That dude's an Atlanta legend, and he's won 2 World Series with the Dodgers now, and he's kind of starting to have the best moments of his career out in Los Angeles. So, you know, it's aside from that, it's more of a place with me is like I'm always gonna favor the guys that come out of the Dodgers farm system, like whoever these outfielders, like Mike Sirota, that are going to be coming up.
I like
Zaire Hope.
They're next great. Him and Hope.
And we've got a couple guys from Arkansas. That's where I'm going to school right now that are in our farm system. Those are going to be the guys I'm rooting for heavily. So it's just I like seeing people start with the team and go through it, and you know it's why I loved Corey Seager, I loved Cody Bellinger, Clayton Kershaw, and the Matt Kemp was one of those first guys for me. You know, he was started from the bottom of the team, and you know it was the same thing with Yasiel Puig and a lot of those guys. So I mean, it's a different era of Dodger baseball where you know the whole they buy all their players. I mean, it is a little bit more. There's a lot more free agent sightings than there used to be, and. You know, that was my thing with Matt Kemp, and that was a very special Dodger talent that they had. Same with Andre Ethier. No, Ian, what do you think on Matt Kemp?
Yeah, no, I mean he I think the best moment for him in his career is, you know, when it looked like it was dead and it was over, and the Dodgers wanted to shed some salary. Possibly to go chase Bryce Harper in the 2019 offseason. Matt Kemp got shipped back to LA in 2018. And I remember at the time, because Matt Kemp, first player that I remember meeting, actually at spring training in like 2012, I think 2011, right before his MVP season. Signed my jersey, really nice guy, like great, like fan favorite, of course. Comes back to LA, and I remember in 2018, all the reports were, well, he'll probably get waived. This is a salary dump. There's no place for him with the Dodgers. And he got in the lab, I think, with like LaTroy Hawkins, the Brewers relief pitcher, longtime Hall of Very Good candidate as well. I believe it was him. I remember hearing the stories that they took him like to basically somewhere in Texas, and he just trained and trained and trained because he the thing where people were saying he was overweight. He lost a lot of weight, came into spring training in the best shape of his career, maybe, and he battled. He had to battle to make the Dodgers roster, and he did. And I don't know if you remember the beginning of the 2018 season. The Dodgers were not good to start that season. Corey Seager went down with Tommy John.
Justin Turner broke his hand.
Yeah, Turner broke his hand. They were in a bad way. And son of a bitch, Matt Kemp, middle of the order, batting third, just like carried that lineup and drug him to the All-Star break where he got his first All-Star selection. They turned it around. Then they went and they go get Manny Machado, and Turner comes back healthy. Eventually
Max
go on that World
Muncy.
Series run. Yeah, Max Muncy, of course, came up later that year and was a huge part of the offense. I want to say Grandal was like one of the best offensive catchers in baseball that year.
What a yeah. That's a
Dodgers
name.
find dudes. Dodgers find dudes. I think he eventually got Ben Frost and Barnes like back-to-back years in the World
He
Series.
did.
But that was just it kind of perfectly exemplified Matt Kemp and the kind of character and person he was for the Dodgers. But you mentioned the homegrown talent, and the Dodgers obviously have a bevy of it. And we've talked about a lot of free agents, and we've talked about signing guys. What about the trade market? Now, you are probably going to have to give up some of that potential, what would be homegrown talent. Are there any guys on the market, and I'll go after and tell you my guy, is there any guys on the market that you look at and go, you know what? Don't know about Bellinger, Bichette, Tucker's price tag, but I like this dude, and we've got a bevy of talent, and we should go get him. Or is there any players like that stand out to you?
Just off the rip, I know there's a certain name that's been rumored around, and it's Tarek Skubal.
Yeah.
Never been a fan of it. You're gonna blow up the entire farm system for it. You're gonna blow up your entire pitching depth. Don't do it. And he's got a little bit of some injury past. I don't like I just don't like it. I don't like going and signing him, and I don't. Ian and you and I have talked about this a lot, but I don't think it's a bad move on the Tigers' end if they trade him, if they can get.
No.
But you have to get a Juan Soto type haul. Like you don't be the Red Sox and trade Mookie Betts for a bag of potato chips. But if you can get a freaking like just massive prospect haul with a couple proven names, you do it.
Absolutely.
Just on the trade market right now, honestly, I don't think they have to do anything. I seriously don't think that. You've won back-to-back World Series championships. Your biggest problem was the bullpen.
Yeah.
You got Edwin Diaz, and you have River Ryan, Gavin Stone coming back.
Who a lot of people say you look like.
Gavin
And by a lot
Stone,
of people, I mean like Bella.
that was Bella, which
We got one person.
I don't understand it. We both probably have double barrel shotgun looking noses. I don't know, but
Must have been what it was.
you got two pretty young arms that I don't know what's going to happen with them in the rotation. They might get moved into the bullpen. Emmett Sheehan as well, and then I'm still, if he can do it as a reliever, I think Bobby Miller's still got a future. Call me crazy, but
Don't sell low. At least give him a shot.
yeah, like
Did you see his
you
numbers towards the
could.
end of the year in minor leagues.
The guy could come out of the bullpen and be a. We don't need him to be a starter. You can go gun 102 out of the bullpen for. He could be the Roki. Look, he could be the Roki Sasaki full time
Yeah.
with just give him one inning. Like I'd be fully on board with it. Now. Speaking right now, I don't think they need to do many trades. I don't think they have to do a trade. Maybe get a couple prospects if you can for something, but there is no weak spot on the team outside of the outfield, and they're going to be working on something with that. And I don't think they need to make a trade until the deadline. I don't think there's much you got to do. You got all the talent you could want in your farm system. You got all the talent you want putting on the field for opening day. you fixed your bullpen problems already, and call me crazy, but I think Tanner Scott's going to have a bounce back year. I don't think there's going to be. You have that. If you get the Tanner Scott you signed and Edwin Diaz coming out of that bullpen,
Good
what's
night.
going to stop you? What is going to stop that team?
Maybe the ball getting hit in right field. But
Yeah, well, there is that is a problem.
yeah,
But I can't really think of anything.
yeah. No, to me the offseason's simple, and I'll ask you kind of maybe what you would do. I know you kind of reiterated there's not a lot to do. Sticking in the AL Central, there's two names that honestly I love Bellinger, really like Kyle Tucker. Bichette, I'm squeamish on. He's another guy, like if he would come to the Dodgers on a 3-year deal or a 4-year deal, sure. Opt out laden because he thinks he can get a better contract, love it. But Bichette to me is a terrible long-term investment for the Dodgers. He's I think last year outs above average was the worst defensive shortstop. There's no shot he'll play shortstop for this team. And then you're paying a second baseman a bunch of money. It just doesn't feel like a good move unless it's very short term. But sticking in the AL Central, you talked about Tarek Skubal. There's a pair of outfielders that I love. And to me, the Dodgers taking a swing and getting one of them, two of them's ridiculous. That's not going to happen. It's exactly how I would play the rest of the offseason. First and most obvious is the Cleveland Guardians have this, Tony Gwynn 2.0 Gold Glove outfielder by the name of Stephen Kwan. I think I was pounding the table for him at the deadline. He was the one guy I wanted them to get. Almost bit him from behind. If it wasn't for Miguel Rojas's, swing of his life. Solves every issue the Dodgers have immediately. Defense, dude's a Gold Glover, outstanding arm, and in a lineup full of dudes that swing and hit the ball out of the park, he's a slap hitter. He's a better version of Luis Ariz. He's got better speed, on-base demon. To me, unless the asking price is stupid, the Dodgers have a great farm system. They have the number one farm system. You go and you get Stephen Kwan and maybe you extend him. He's a no-brainer for me. I would rather have him than Kyle Tucker. To me. The other name, if that doesn't work, look, the Twins are in a full rebuild. Whether they want to admit it or not, they're not competing for the AL Central, which is the worst division in baseball. Byron Buxton, now I know he's got the injury history. Byron Buxton, I'm curious what you think on this. I'll go to you in a second. When he plays, if you look at his full 162 aggregated average, he is like a top 5 player in this league. The dude can hit the ball out of the park. He's a Gold Glove caliber center fielder. So even if that slows it down, you can move him to one of the corner spots. Insane speed, like he's a 99 out of 99 on MLB The Show with speed. Not that that's how I'm basing my players. I'm not Woody Johnson of the New York Jets, but 3-year deal. I think he's got getting $15 million a year. It would be an absolute steal. And I know he has the health problems, but look at what they did with their pitching, the Dodgers. They withheld Blake Snell. They withheld Tyler Glasnow when they were kind of recovering for a long period of time. The Dodgers have the formula to get to October. The NL West is winnable every year. They're going to have one foe. They can usually squash him. And even now they showed the wild card round, big freaking deal. We can win. You have Byron Buxton. You do what it takes to get him to October. I think that's another great avenue to go. I would do that over signing these guys to lucrative deals.
Yeah, the trade-off with Byron Buxton is you're going to get a new Threads on my way the show card. It's not fun to play against. That'll have that 99 speed, 99 power that you're talking about there. But
Yep.
I think if you can get, you're probably going to have to move an outfield prospect or two to get Buxton plus Gavin Stone or River Ryan. But, it's not going to be nowhere near the haul to get Tarek Skubal. And, if you can do it, yeah, if you can do it with Buxton, I think it's Byron Buxton. And Stephen Kwan, I don't know what the package is going to be, but look, at the end of the day, I trust what this organization's going to do. I mean, it's the best scouting, it's the best coaching, it's the best president of baseball operations you could possibly have across just president across sports in general. Andrew Friedman's the best. I mean, the Thunder front office will give him a run for its money, but
Yeah.
um,
Presti and Friedman, those are the two best.
yeah,
And Les Snead, of course.
whatever whatever Friedman and the Dodgers do, I trust. I've never doubted one moment. I mean, dude, Alex Call was our deadline move, and I mean, he actually had some. The dude had 1,000 on base percentage in the NLDS. The dude did great. He did his job. We needed a guy who could hit against lefties and get on base, and that's what he did. And then you had Blake Snell coming back. Like,
Yep.
that was all they needed. It's what I say. Like, I don't think a trade needs to be made right now, but if you can't get Cody Bellinger or Kyle Tucker right now, and you have an offer for Byron Buxton or Stephen Kwan, I'd be fully on board with it. Really, whatever the Dodgers do, I'm gonna be on board with
I'm
it.
fully on board. Me too.
Absolutely.
All right. We're running out of time, but we've got a really important step aside for baseball for 1 second. We've got a really important matchup this weekend. It's going to be freezing cold in Chicago on Sunday night, 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Eastern, when the Bears host the LA Rams. The injury-ravaged Bears face the, for some reason, dogfighting with an 8-9 team LA Rams. What's your pick before we get out?
I mean, obviously, I'm going to ride with the Rams on the 2025 MVP. Can't go wrong. And you got Puka Nacua. There's two things. The Bears are a better team than a lot of people are going to give them credit for. They're going, oh, it's the Bears. It's an inexperienced Caleb Williams. That is true. They're still a pretty damn good team. But you got Matthew Stafford. I think as long as it doesn't snow, the cold weather thing, I'm not really too worried about. Matthew Stafford played in the NFC North for most of his career. I think it's going to be fine. Puka Nacua is a BYU guy. He played in pretty cold weather in college football. So I think it's going to be fine. And look, the Rams have been terrible in cold weather games. They're due. They're due for a win in them.
Well, give us the snow. I think they looked pretty damn good in Philly last year. They're the only team that gave them a run for their money on their Super Bowl run. I'm thinking like 31-13 Rams.
Give me 24-16.
All right, we're gonna go with the unders in those. But anyways, thank you for listening to Tinseltown, episode number 1. I know we did a trial run last year, but if you like what you heard, comment, subscribe to the page. We will have a lot more content like this, probably even better as the season gets closer. But thank you for listening, and until next time, we're out.